All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. All right. As you can see, I titled it "The Beast is on the Move," which is a title that I got from the elder Yashawamba, and from a statement he had made, and you know, that's pretty much the phase, all right, in which we are in. Okay, the beast. See, we've been, as the scriptures liken us onto watchmen. So let's start off with that. As watchmen, we've been upon our watchtower watching and measuring the times diligently. And one of the things that we watch for is this beast. Okay, we're watching for, because we know that at some point this beast is gonna make its move and to come after us, as we read in Revelation the 12th chapter and the 17th verse. Okay, so as watchmen, we're watching for various things, but one of the main things we're watching for is this beast. And there's times where periodically where the beast starts to move very quickly, and then there's times where it starts to slow down and it'll look like it's crouched a bit. And I'm speaking metaphorically here, and it'll look like it's crouched a bit, and then you may see little movement here and there, then it'll get back up, and then it'll just start moving fast again. So we're watching that, and now we're seeing that the beast is on the move again. But each time the beast gets on the move, it gets closer and closer, all right, to devouring. It gets closer and closer to attacking. So this is the book of Isaiah chapter 62 verse 6, and it says, "I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem." So who are the watchmen that are upon the walls? The watchmen are the prophets. Okay, and really, the believers, because we're all watching, but it's mainly the job of the prophets to watch and to sound the alarm. And it says, "Which shall never hold their peace day nor night." Okay, because what do? How do we, when you hold your peace, that means you stop talking. Okay, so when we don't hold our peace, that means we're constantly talking. We're constantly teaching this word. We're constantly doing videos, edifying and informing. It says here, "Day nor night, ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence." So as we see this beast on the move again, and what do I mean by the beast is on the move? Well, you had, going back to the beginning of this whole situation, you had they came out of nowhere with something, and they were moving pretty rapidly with it. It was new to a lot of people, so people were falling for it left and right, and they were moving. The beast was moving very, very rapidly. But now what we're starting to see is prior to this, you had the European nations, and the NATO nations, and the rest of these other United Nations doing things. However, after they instituted or ushered in this new normal, you've seen that a lot of these blocks have really come together tighter, right? You're hearing more about NATO as a unit. You're hearing more about the EU doing things, as which they've always done, but now it's like this thing they ushered in has united, right? It has brought them all together into action to move as a unit, as a beast. So that's why whenever you see, let's say, Germany doing something, France is going to be adopted, Italy is going to adopt it, all these different nations are going to adopt it. Now the new wave, the new thing is now, like I did a video on it yesterday, mandatory participation in this, this whole Vanessa campaign, but for the population. So you had Germany say, well, they want to vote on it by the end of this year and start implementing it next year. And then you had, I believe, I forgot, I think it was Italy or another country that also said they wanna be partakers in that. And then you had the EU chief come out and say, you know what, at this point, the whole European Union should start looking towards compulsory Vanessas for the whole EU. And then in damn, where is this? The name is escaping me at the moment. Damn, the name is escaping me of this location. However, they're saying that at this location, they decided adults 60 years and over, I think they said they want to pass this, and then starting next year, every month that you are unvanessed, they're going to charge you about $114. They're going to fine you $114 every month that you are unvanessed. Not that if you enter a business unvanessed, or if you try to, do certain activities. No, if you just don't have it, they're gonna fine you about $114 when you translate the currency every month. All right. So this beast is moving, and they've really used 2020 or 2021 as a year of putting things into place. And what it seems is that by next year, they really want to have that they want to get into attack mode. They want to put their hands on people and start getting full draconian on them. Because it's not going to go year by year by year, and then they're just looking at you, threatening you here, threatening you here. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. Like they don't have plans they want to institute. Of course they got plans. And they have a timeline as well. So they're not just going to keep sitting there month by month, year by year. No, they're making their move, and that's ultimately because the Heavenly Father is putting a spirit on them to start moving. Because it's time for these prophecies to kick into high gear. So next year might be looking like a very interesting year. Because, sometimes the year starts off a certain way, then the first couple of months, it's a little, lightish, then it starts to pick up a bit, But that's because the Lord has things that need to be fulfilled in their seasons. So if the Lord says there's certain things that got to be fulfilled beginning top of the year, that's exactly what's going to happen. All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 4. It says, "And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon." Now, this horse represents Esau, Edom, and it starts with their elites. Okay, their higher, top class of Esau. And it says here, power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And that's what you notice. Every time Edomites came into power, there was peace taken out of the earth. As a matter of fact, in the book of First Maccabees, it tells us. Let's go to it real quick. First Maccabees, the first chapter, as it goes through the brief history leading up until Antiochus Epiphanes, what it says is that, let's see if I can find it. All right, First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 7. It says, "So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule every one in his place." Verse 9. "After this, after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves." So during Alexander's time, it was obviously the Greeks were in power, which were Edomites. But after Alexander had died, the various different generals started to divide up the kingdom and bear rule, up until the infamous or the notable ones, as it mentions in the book of Daniel. So it says they put crowns upon themselves, rulerships. So did their sons after them many years, because they had different dynasties. You had the Seleucid dynasty, the Ptolemaic dynasty, all right, so on and so forth. And then what does it say here? It says, so after they put crowns upon themselves, and so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. See, and evils are a bad time. Okay? Ev represents an age or a time, and ill means bad. So evils are a bad time. And it says when they came up into power and they started ruling and their sons after them, that's when evils or bad times were multiplied in the earth. So it's only fitting, going back to Revelation 6 and 4, that when power was given to this red horse, that what? They were to take peace from the earth. And that's exactly what they've done in all their different rulerships. They've brought evil times. and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. And when you read in the book of Genesis, I believe maybe 25th chapter or so, when Isaac gave Esau his blessing, a part of that was the sword. By thy sword shalt thou live. And so this beast now is doing exactly that. Just like he attempted in the past, he's doing exactly that now. However, in this time, see, in the past, the Lord allowed them to do certain things to fulfill the prophecies that were necessary. Slakia, the prophecies that were necessary at that time. But now they're here to fulfill the prophecies that are necessary for this time. And those prophecies are Daniel 12:1, Revelation 13, okay? Revelation 9 and 13 on down. All right, so let's go real quick to the book of Psalms, chapter 55, because ultimately their plan is part and part. It's part deception, part sword. They need deception to get to a certain point, and then they bring the sword to go from there on, because they understand that deception is not going to carry them on from that point. So this is Psalms chapter 55, verse 20. It says, he hath put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him. And that's this man's whole track record. Okay? Going back to the Gadites and, the North American Indians, Reuben, all of them that Esau came and encountered over here, the Northern Kingdom. All right? They didn't meet Esau with violence. All right? They actually were at peace with him. But what happened? He turned on them. And now look at the condition that a lot of them are in today. So it says, he hath broken his covenant, and that's why he is called the devil, a deceiver. He doesn't keep his word, because the only reason he gave you his word was to deceive you. So why would he keep it? He never intended to keep it. That's how these devils move. And you're going to see a perfect example when they make a two-time fool out of these ignorant people, because now with this new strain, they're once again playing the same cards. And you know what this does? This gives these elites more confidence that they can do what it is they want to do, because they're saying, my goodness, these people are really, really that mentally slow that we can pull the same shit twice, 3 times, as many times as we want, and they're going to keep on falling for it. Just change up a few things here and there, and they're going to fall for the same thing. We can literally do wickedness. It can come out that we've done wickedness, and we can still come and tell them some shit, and they're gonna run with it. So that's why the average individual, the average Israelite, the average common person walking around is not a threat to these elites. You're just a part of the extras. That's why others can put up certain videos and mention certain key words and key things, and they'll be fine. The second we put up videos, even if we're using code words, they come for our videos, because we have an intention, which is truth. We're not unintentionally speaking truth. We're intentionally speaking truth with a goal and the objective of pushing and spreading the word of the Lord. But you have others in the world who, some of them will unintentionally speak truth, meaning they'll say it, but they don't understand the fullness of it. And because they don't understand the fullness of it, these elites don't worry about them. Yeah, Khan, and Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshai, Brakatham to all you tuning in. And just like, yeah, Jake trust in oppression, Khan. So if your oppressor comes and tells you something, they're going to run with it. And then they're going to turn around and complain about being oppressed. But then when the oppressor comes, they bow down. Okay? So that's why these average people are not a problem. That's why whenever we say something, we're a problem. Because the Lord has given us the spirit to know and understand, and we don't shoot for the ballpark. No, we shoot for the bullseye. That's why these devils are afraid whenever we have a bow and arrow in our hand. Spiritually speaking, that is. Okay? Because they know we're not aiming for the ballpark. See, you have others that they may have the bow and arrow, but they don't really know where to aim for. They know around what area, but they don't see the pure target. No, when we come out here and we do these videos, it's like darts coming straight to hit the boom, boom. And the first, these elites cannot bank on saying, well, let them shoot the arrow anyway. maybe they'll miss. No, because they know it's not about us. They know it's the Heavenly Father working through us. So, well, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai working through us. So they'll say, don't even allow them to have a bow and arrow. Because if they get to aim, they're gonna aim exactly where we don't want them to aim. That's a problem. So like I said, as we move into the year 2022, and they keep on pushing these policies, and you're watching it and you're saying, my goodness, these are some shits that you would see in a conspiracy theory movie back years ago. And you'd watch that movie and be like, damn, that's crazy. I'm glad I don't live in that world. Or that's what average people would say. These are things that, I mean, there was an article today that I saw that said, I think it was in Australia, because we know they've been taking people who've tested plus for the Crown Vicky, and they've been taking them to these quarantine centers. Well, they said I think there were 3 escapees, right? And these people, they scaled the wall. Now they said the people tested negative before escaping, so they scaled the fence, the walls, hopped the shit, dipped. Man, they said there was a whole manhunt for these 3 people, man. They went left and right, making sure, no, we're gonna get these folks. So they went, found them, grabbed them up, and brought them, and basically apprehended them. They caught their ass. And I'm like, damn. So really, like, if you try to escape, it's that serious to them. It doesn't matter if you tested negative. No. They're like, look, if we brought your ass to this camp and we didn't let your ass out, you're not going out. That's what we tell people. Because, oh yeah, it's only for a couple of days, just to make sure, that you're okay. But you know what they're saying? They're saying they're pushing for this general population compulsory event with the narrative of Omicron. All right, this new strain. They're saying, well, now with this new one out here, people are still refusing to comply. Even after we've set all these work mandates and stuff like that into place, they're still not complying. So the question is, what's the next step? What is the next step? The next step is going to have to be harsher than the first. Because if they're not complying with that, you got to do something to make them, right? So these devils are definitely, like I said, the beast is on the move. Verse Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. It says, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Now, the thing is, when these devils come and give these speeches and they try to push their narrative, they use slick words. There's a way they come and talk. There's a way that they say things. And you notice whenever they're coming out with something new, they know that people are hesitant to change. So how do you push a new agenda on people that don't want change? You have to tie it in with something that they can see as beneficial. So have you noticed that any new technological, scientific discovery that you may look at and say, nah, that's a little spooky, is always tied with health? They're always pushing a narrative that we can use this to heal people. If you're blind or you're sick or there's certain troubles that you have, imagine if we had implemented this, how many lives we could have saved, how many people we can make walk and get their eyesight back. They always push that. So then you may say, nah, that shit is spooky, but it could really make me walk again. It can make my grandma see again. Then, maybe the benefits outweigh the risks. See? And then when you let them and they actually bring the shit out, it's like, yo, F your grandma, forget you. We just, once again, they say things and their words are smooth because they slip past people's mental defenses. They first use words to get you to let your guard down, and then they use even softer words to work around your natural mental defenses. So as where you should have red flags going off, you don't. That's why they can come out and tell you, last year they came out and said, oh, well, before we start giving this thing, just be aware that you will feel pain and, soreness and, fatigue and all these negative things, but that's okay. That just means that it's working. No, your body reacts certain ways to certain things to alert you. But they're telling you, no, ignore your body's red flags, because those red flags are actually green flags, letting you know that it's doing, it's working correctly. See? So they use these words, and they're masters of deception. They actually use witchcraft, man. They hypnotize people. They throw spells on people. Yeah, the water, the brother Gashan 72. Yep, that was from that article. All right. So back to Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, yet was war in his heart. So he'll say one thing, but in his mind, he's thinking another. And the thing he's thinking in his mind is war. Okay? It says his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So when you look at him and they say we're doing this to save lives, those are his words. But what are his real intentions? Okay? That's where, and that's the problem with a lot of people. That's why, once again, they want to eliminate us, because they know that those smooth words, they can't slip. We already suspect your ass. The only good thing that can come from Esau is fulfillment of prophecy. But in terms of something that this devil is actually going to do to benefit us or anybody, not even an inkling or a grain of nothing. There's no act that this devil is going to do that is going to benefit you, that sincerely and genuinely he wants to benefit you with. It's impossible. How do we know it's impossible? We know it's impossible because he was designed that way. He was designed. Look, man, ain't no way poison, which is designed to kill you, is going to cure you. If you take poison, what's going to happen to you? Right? Or if you get shot, what's going to happen to you? So that's like, how a gun and a bullet works. And then somebody comes and tells you, oh, you bleeding out, let me shoot you real quick and it'll heal you. Well, if you know how a gun and a bullet works, you would know that there's no possible way that you shooting me is going to heal me. So we know how Esau works. So we know there's no possible way that this devil is going to do anything to actually benefit you. So when you got people like General Yohana saying, oh, he's the devil, but take it anyway. And then you try to use some psychology to try and get people to this, that, and really, if you think about, no, because that's not what the scriptures say. All right. See what else I had here. Right. So now jumping real quick to the book of Revelation, because this is now, in throughout prophetic and historical timeline, you have certain precepts, especially now, that you could say are on fire, right? At certain points when certain things are happening in the world, you have certain precepts that are on fire, meaning these are precepts that you're going to constantly keep hearing. When that actual grain of rice comes out, man, Revelation 13 is going to be, you're going to pretty much hear that every day, every hour of the day, because there's going to be constant videos coming out, and we're going to constantly be making reference to what? Revelation 13. So you could say that precept is going to be on fire. It's like if the book, was animated, you would see like a fire. You could see fire on certain pages, because those prophecies in there are exactly the times we're living in. So Revelation chapter 13, starting at verse 13 or verse 14, it says here, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to, and these miracles that he does is by way of his technology. Because when you understand how technology truly works in a particular specific field, it doesn't seem like magic anymore. But when you don't understand how technology works, it seems like magic. It seems like, whoa, how the hell can I, like this right now? How can I just put a device right here? Now, for everybody watching right now, I can't see you, right? I can't see you, but how is it possible? You're not in front of me. You're not next to me. You're not in close proximity to me. So how is it that you can hear and see me and everything that I'm doing in live, real time? Like I'm moving my hand right now. Now, none of y'all are right here around me, but yeah, that I just moved my hand. You know I'm saying these words. You can see me. So now if you don't understand the mechanics behind that, you're looking at it like, damn, how the hell do you get a device, and how the hell do you even do that? You know? Or certain other of their technology that they've come out with. So you have a lot of people, as the scriptures say, they wondered after the beast. You have a lot of people that are in awe at the things that this devil is able to do by way of his technology. Okay? And they fail to realize that really that's on a low level. It only seems like it's high because of how we're in such a lower state. As of right now, we haven't been exposed to higher technology. So it seems like what this devil has is on some next level. But really, when we get to the kingdom, we're going to be exposed to levels beyond levels. So seeing this is going to make this look so archaic. But nevertheless, as it says here, he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth. And one of those deceptions is going to be through that, man. Because when they issue out this grain of rice, it's going to be tied with propaganda and narrative. They're not just going to come out and tell you, yo, just, roll up your sleeves or put out your hand and let us put something in there or put something into your head. Okay, you sit there and say, okay, well, why the hell would I do that? That's the thing. Why the hell would I do that? So that's why whenever they push something, there's always a narrative. There's the answer to your why. Right? I'm saying, okay, give me your hand. We're going to put this thing inside you, right? We're going to turn you into a rice eater. Okay? Now you may say, well, why would I do that? Oh, well, before you even ask why, I'm going to list all the various reasons, and then I'm going to tell you to do it. That's why they have problem, reaction, solution. Because whenever you present a solution to somebody, you say, or this is better, or you should do this. There's always a question that comes up, which is why? Why is your solution better? Why should I listen to you? Why should I consider what you're telling me? So that's why they start off with the problem. Oh, well, do you not remember the problem that happened? Do you not remember how you acted? Was it not a scary time? Do you want to go through that again? Wouldn't you rather avoid that? See, they come in with that. Then they issue out the solution. Are you? That's how these commercials move all the time. Are you tired of not having enough space in your wardrobe? Bought new clothes, but you can't fit it inside your lower drawer? Rats eating all your clothes, tearing up and chewing up your car wires? Call blah, 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 blah. See, so there's a problem. Then they list certain things that you may be feeling, oh, yeah, that is true, man. I be getting tight. Man, I got some new stuff. I can't even fit it here. Then they say, well, do this. Here's a solution. Try this out. You say, oh, you know what? I wasn't going to do that. I was going to just manage, but you know what? Maybe I'll try it. So it's all working on the minds of these people. But going back, Revelation 13 and 15, it says here, actually continuing at 14, I'll read it again. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had a wound by a sword and did live. And that image is that system going back to the ancient Roman Empire, the pagan Roman Empire. That system, they're bringing it back. All right, and now they've modernized it, but it's still the same thing. The core of it goes back to the same ways. And why is that? Well, because the system back then was by Edomites, right? And now these same Edomites are back again to bring back their system, and they're saying, well, now we're going to carry it further. Back then, we only had a certain period of time to do certain things. When you read in 2nd Ezra 11 and 12, all right, about the eagle with the 12 wings, the 12 feathers. Okay, going into the 12 seasons, they only had pretty much that portion of time to really do their shit. But now they're like, okay, we're back now, and now we're here to bring back our system that we had before, and then we're gonna push it further and complete it. Verse 15, and he had power to give light. Now remember, back in Revelation 6, it mentioned about this red horse being given power. So why would the Most High give these devils power? Knowing that they're a cancer in the earth, they're a virus, they're a problem. Why would the Most High give these devils power? Well, because they're needed, they're necessary to fulfill prophecy. This beast has to move. The beast has to come on the attack. The enemy has to come in like a flood, or else Isaiah 59 and 19 will never be fulfilled. This devil needs to come and issue his mark, or else how is the hour of temptation going to come? How is the judgment for those who take it going to come? If he never issues his mark, then nobody takes it and nobody resists it. So then how is Revelation 14:9 fulfilled? All right. And if the mark never comes, the destruction can't come. And if the destruction doesn't come, how does Yahweh Shai come? See, so yeah, as vexing, as annoying, and as, you know, hey, as a spirit 144, you know, but as, and then 666, oh shit, you know. So, and these are license plates, but as annoying as it may be, it's necessary. So, verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So now you're starting to see us entering into that harsh draconian style, because when you don't worship the image of the beast, that means you're not complying. You're not complying with the ways or the methods or the system that they've put in place. And they're going to come after people like that. Because Draconian, going back to Draco, the Athenian lawgiver, what was his MO? Well, harsh penalties for petty crimes. Crimes are things that are going against societal laws. So not worshiping the image of the beast is you going against societal laws, according to the beast. So if you don't worship the image of the beast and you're going to be killed for that, what is that? That is draconian measures. And that's where we find ourselves going into. Right now, you may be able to get a job where they don't require you to have the juice. You may be able to manage through some online way, or, you know, some app-based job or something to get by. But how do you escape compulsory general population Vanessas? Where they say, if you live in New York City, everybody in here got to have it. You know that to make a statement like that and to actually implement that, you need to have certain measures in place. Because number one, you need to be able to check who has it and who doesn't. So in order to do that, you need to be able to track and find people. You need to be able to either go house to house, door to door, and find out exactly how many people live here, who lives here, who has it, who doesn't. Right? That's method number one, finding out who has it, who doesn't. Then number two, you need to set policies in place for, well, what do we do when we come across somebody that doesn't have it? Well, we try to give it to them, but what happens if they don't want it? Do we force it on them? Do we have penalties for them? These are all things that when they come out and throw new mandates, they have to put into place. They have to put these measures into place. See? So it's not more so what they're saying. Who gives a damn about what they're saying? It's about how they're going to enforce and implement what they're saying. Right? What are they going to do? They're going to come door to door. They're going to start rounding people up by force. Eventually, they're going to have to, right? Because they're not going to, oh, well, if you live in NYC and you're not finessed, just come on down to this quarantine center. We'll just keep you here for an indefinite amount of time. Oh, yeah, honey, I'm just going to go down there. You know, I'll be down there for however long they said I should be down there, and that's it. No, people are not going to do that. So they're going to need to come and get people and take their asses, right? Like they're doing in Australia. And then they're going to hunt down people that try to escape. So that's the point. That's when you look at the direction in which this beast is moving, that's where it's headed to. Revelation 2 and 10. All right, them casting some of us into prison. 2nd Ezra 16. All right. Feeding you, being idle with things offered unto idols. The burning wrath of a great multitude being kindled over you. So it's going to seem like we're up against the whole world. Because when they start bringing them real harsh measures, trust and believe that a lot of people are going to break. So the number of people that are going to be resisting is going to shrink even more. And it's going to keep on shrinking till you have really the core, which are the elect. 2nd Ezra 16, once again, says what? Then shall they be known who am I chosen. Because even in the face of death, even in the face of adversity, even in the face of all of that, the elect are still going to stand firm and say, you know what? Whatever happens to me, cool. I'm not gonna forsake Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. I'm still gonna trust in the Lord. Because I believe that the Lord can deliver me from even this. because he has done this and greater in the past. It's not a big deal for the Lord. And plus, the Lord said it, that he was going to lift up a standard. So are you lacking in faith so much so that you can't wait upon the Lord's standard? Because the Lord's ears are not too heavy that he can't hear, and his hands are not too short that he can't save. So what is it? If the Lord, if you caved in and the Lord came to you and asked you, well, why did you do that? Oh Lord, they were threatening my job and I didn't know I have a family I got to take care of. Oh my Lord, please no. And then he's saying, well, why didn't you just pray to me? Did I not? And then you get the recap, right? Did I not bring you guys out of Egypt? Did I not divide the Gulf of Suez and have you walk on dry land? Did I not feed you with manna, right? Angels' food? Did I not deliver you? Did I not give you the land of Canaan? You know, did I not do all these things for your ass? And you worried about a stupid ass job? That I could the same job that I, by my authorization, you got. You worried about that? So much so that you couldn't have faith that I would do something for you? Do you think, you know, the Most High, if he was to ask you that, what would your answer be? Well, why did you cave in? Oh Lord, they threatened to kill me. Well, did you not? Well, can I not deliver from death? You got a decent, and then how do you answer that? You go just look at him, feeling stupid. Well, I mean, yeah, you're right, but it's too late now. You done the act. You know, oh, the pressure was too strong. Okay, but you know what that goes to show? That goes to show you fear man more than you fear the Lord, and that goes to show that your fear triumphs your faith. And the problem is your fear wasn't rooted in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Your fear was rooted in everything else. Because if your fear is rooted in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, nothing will make you more afraid than forsaking the Lord. And if you carry that mindset, then you'll never forsake the Lord. So long as his spirit is on you, that is. So as it says here, that anybody that will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. That's the times we're coming into. The Lord is going to deliver us, but there's some of us who it is written that we have to go through, you know, death. We have to glorify the Lord through death, being martyrs for the Lord. But even in that, you have to face it head on. You know, so like I said, you know, the past few months, what they've been doing is this little back and forth shit. You know, oh, this mandate here, this mandate here, this mandate here. You know, but especially in these other countries, they're doing it. But the U.S. is like, you know, a little up and down type shit, uppity. But come ending of this year, because you're not looking at just mandates. You're looking at inflation, going into hyperinflation, right? You now, and we told you this from the jump. What's this guy's name? Jerome Powell, whatever. Came out and said, yo, bro, retire that word. Stop. I know we came out and said transitory, but that shit ain't no transitory nothing. And we told you the only reason they used the word transitory was damage control, because they didn't want you to panic. But now it's to the point where they can't hide it. So they came out and said, yeah, nah, that shit, bro, ain't no transitory shit, man. Now they came out and said, well, because of Omicron, the inflation is gonna stay higher for longer. What are they telling you? They're telling you get ready for some hell, because you have it's happening now, but very soon you're gonna start feeling the effects. So you're not going into 2022 just facing mandates, you know. You're going in there facing higher prices. You're going in there still facing supply chain shortages. You're going in there facing food shortages. You're going in there facing electricity shortages. Okay? So it's going to be a lot of hell. But that's why the scriptures talk about a time of Jacob's trouble. If Jacob's trouble wasn't that bad, Ezra wouldn't have been saying, woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days? Because it was a scary time. And since I mentioned Ezra, I'm going to finish it off there. All right, in the book of 2nd Ezra, and once again, 2nd Ezra 15, 2nd Ezra 16, these would also be chapters that will be on fire, because we are in these times right now. So 2nd Ezra chapter 16, starting up at verse 14. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to start at verse 16. Or 22, Salakia. So 2nd Ezra 16 and 22, it says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine. When you perish, that means you die. All right? You perish, you're dead. So a lot of people are going to die of famine. Meaning, food, there's going to be food, but you're not going to be able to get access to it. And it's going to be so bad that people are going to be dying. All right. Now, when you die of famine, that's not a one-day process. You don't, oh, I didn't eat today. Oh, there goes my life. No, that's a slow, painful process. It's agonizing you got to a point where your body's like, yo, there's nothing left to eat but yourself. It says here, and the other that escaped the hunger shall the sword destroy. So now, are we in a time where the average day neighbor is dying of hunger? Or is just getting shot up? No, it hasn't happened yet. But it's something that's going to happen in our near future. So what does that tell us? That tells us that, wait, hold on. That means that the way things are going, they're going to get worse. That means that these shortages are not really going to get resolved like that, because it says here that we're going to have to be in conditions that are so bad that people are going to be dying of famine. People are going to be dying of the sword. So that means that things are not getting better, because if things were to get better, how would this prophecy be fulfilled? Yep, this is Iwalum, a war 144K, Lamentations 4:9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. Okay, man, whoo, boy. So it says here, continuing 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 23, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man. Now, you notice when you walking, you walking down the street and you may see like a dried up shit or some other shit here and some other shit there. Just like you could easily turn around, scan one block, and you'll see maybe like 3 piles, or one little dried up one over here. Well, that's how people are going to be dying so much that it's going to be like that, to where you can see, there's going to be areas where you're going to have just bodies, people just dead. And you going like, whoa, shit, that's a dead body, like, nigga dead, he's dead. Sometimes, say, you might be in a situation where you might see somebody just get put to death right there. I've said this before, man, that a lot of people haven't experienced or been in the presence of death. You may have been in a near-death experience, but you haven't been in the presence of death. All right? You haven't been in a situation where maybe you in a car driving somewhere with somebody, and the Lord has your car just get T-boned, and then the shit just somersaults and crashes into like a light pole somewhere. And then the Lord protects you, but not the person next to you. So you finally get out the car, you look, and this person's head is mangled inward. His face is nowhere to be found. There's like a freaking piece of your car jammed through, like, I don't know, he's just done. And you just seen that shit, and you like, yo, 2 minutes ago, I was just talking to this individual. 2 minutes later, his body's all mangled up in my car. And then I'm not talking about a situation like this where you just get out your car and you call 911 and people are pulling up like, yo, is everything good? No. I'm talking about shit is so bad, ain't nobody stopping to say, yo, is everything good? All right? Shit is so bad that whoever T-boned you did it intentionally. Somebody he in a truck, he's like, I can't take this shit no more. He pops some pills. He just steps, the Lord put a death angel spirit on him to come for your friend. And he just steps on the boom. There's fires in the building next to you. I mean, hey, it says, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. And who are the main gender that really need comforting? Now we all creatures, we all get that, but more so who more than who? Women need more comforting than men. But it says there ain't gonna be no man to comfort you. So there's not gonna be like today, you turn on the news and they tell you, oh, whoa, the reason this is happening is because of such and such. So, don't worry about it. We got it under control. Just do this and do that. There's gonna be nobody to come and give you those answers that give you that stability. That's why Isaiah 33:6 is gonna be so important, because if you don't have that, you're not gonna be stable in the mind. You're gonna be afraid of shit. Death is going to be on every corner. People are not going to know what's going on to even know what to do. You may be trying to ask for help, but Nobody's gonna, right now, people don't even have a human element to them. People don't even go around like, oh, if you need help. No. You can't go and knock on your neighbor's door for some sugar. You man, you can't do that. So in that time when everybody's out for themselves, somebody's running and you like, please, can you just show me? They not even trying to hear shit. Okay? And you better not be a woman by yourself that looks good, because the dude might be running, hey, please, do you have, no, I don't got time. Who the hell? Hey, come with me, Because in that time, nobody's gonna, why would they care? What is gonna make somebody obligated to help you? Think about that. You're in desperate need. Maybe your loved one is hurt, bleeding out or something, and you need help. Your car broke down, whatever the case may be. Why would a complete stranger who's also running, trying to save their own ass, be obligated to help you? Why? Chances are they won't. And if they're not, then, because that's the thing, a lot of people today trust in others. They think I'm gonna just call my father or my mother or my brother or my friend, or 911 and I'll be good. That's their first thought. Their first thought isn't to call upon Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Their first thought isn't to pray to the Lord. No, their first thought is I'm gonna call carnally. They think carnally. Wow, look at that. Look at that. In Philly, 2 women got raped in front of people on the same train in 1 week. Look at that. They ain't do shit. Yep. GMS Australia 144, Matthew 24:12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Because when you go into iniquity, I believe it pretty much goes into anarchy. And whenever you watch The Purge, The Walking Dead, movies with anarchy in it, people are cold-hearted. Because in that time, honestly, you can't even afford to be naive. You can't afford to just help everybody. Even like in the movie, The Book of Eli. Man, he was about his business, man. Because he already knew what time it was. You can't just, anybody that screams for help, you need help? Let me come and help you. No, you can't do that. Because it might be a trap. It might be a setup. Or they might just be getting their judgment. And that's between them and the Lord. So in that time, it's going to be very, very cold. And the Lord is going to put a numb spirit upon his men. So for you to have, for you to meet one of the men of the Lord, and for them to be like, yo, you know what? Come. They might give you the penance there from what's that movie? Ghost Rider. Hey, the Lord just might give us that through the Spirit. We might just be able to tell, because with the penance there, he can like see all the shit you've done, type shit. See what kind of individual you are. And he was like a spirit of vengeance. So the Lord might have it to where we could just see your ass and see what type of individual are you. Read your spirit. Because you're gonna have some of these wicked women that they're gonna come up like they don't even know what the word evil means. Coming up, please, crying and shit, acting like they're so innocent. And when somebody comes to you and they're in a bad position, they don't tell you how they ended up there if it's their fault. They just tell you why it's bad and can you please help them? But they won't tell you what type of bullshit they did to get them in there. So when they come up to you crying and begging and shit, you're going to be able to have to discern. Because there's going to be a lot of, look, man, in that time, trust me, women are very good actors. Very, very, very good actors. But you ain't going to be able to fool the men of the Lord in that day. Isaiah 32:2 tells you a man shall be as an hiding place, right? And a covert from the tempest. So when that time comes, you're going to be looking for a man, but you ain't going to be able to fool a man of the Lord. And you're going to realize, damn, you are on your own. Man, that's not going to be a good feeling, man. But like I was saying, people's initial thoughts are not to call upon Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. They're always seeking some carnal first solution. What is your first reaction? No matter what happens, good or bad, what's your first reaction? If something real, like a big blessing comes your way, right? Maybe your mom or somebody does something real good for you. Majority of people in the world's first thought is the person. They're focused on, damn, this person, giving credit to this person. right? Or if something bad happens, it's always, you know, it's carnal, but they don't initially look spiritually like, yo, well, the reason this person did that is because the Heavenly Father granted it, you know? Or if something bad happens, I got to pray first and foremost. Because whatever the outcome of whatever situation I'm in right now is going to be, that's determined by the Heavenly Father. So I got to pray first and foremost. But people, and that's what we are being accustomed and conditioned to do, coming into this truth. That's a part of renewing your mind. People don't do that. They're not used to that. So they rely on men to comfort them. And as we're reading here in 2nd Ezra 16, verse 23, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. So you're going to have cities looking desolate, looking like war zones, looking straight out of a movie scene. It says, there shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. So you're going to have, because of if you leave a certain area without people living there for a while, and you come back maybe years later, you're going to find out that the trees are growing out of the earth. You know, the trees, you know, growing through different places. Okay? You know, growing out windows and this, that, and the third. Because when people live in a certain area, there's maintenance to keep it humanitarian. But there's going to be so few people in certain areas that you ain't going to be having that. It's going to be looking like a wilderness in certain parts. Dead man wonderlands, dead zones. It says, the trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men. So what is going to... Now, you go to places like Manhattan, downtown, you know, and different areas. What do you see happening? You see there's always somebody out. Always somebody out. You know, you look to the right here, look to the right here. There's always people around. You're like, damn, why there's so many people around? But at this time, judgment is going to be going out left and right, so much so that it's going to be very few people left. That's why in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, it says those that die are going to be like a wave compared to a drop. Because there's going to be so many people dying of so many different causes. Getting hit by cars, getting shot, dying of diseases, getting eaten alive, you know, getting murdered. I mean, just so many different causes. It says, verse 27, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice, like in the movie I Am Legend by Will Smith. You notice he started going cuckoo because it was just him, you know, because he didn't have anybody to because humans are social creatures. Interaction is a part of our social life. So when you go so long without that, you know, you start to lose it. All right. And it got so bad, he started talking to the mannequins because he desired to speak to somebody else. So when the woman and her child came, you know, he was like kind of weird because it was almost like he had forgotten how to deal with how to interact with others. So it says, for verse 28, for of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. Yeah, because it's gonna be so bad out here that if you don't hide yourself, you're gonna get got. You ain't gonna be having people out here, you know, roaming the streets. You got that stupid ass saying, we outside. Oh yeah? We outside? Okay. Wait till the judgment goes out and then come outside. Because you know who's going to be saying we outside? Those inmates that break fresh out of prison. They're going to be we outside too. You know? Where y'all at? Them wild animals, they're going to be saying we outside. You're going to be seeing a pack of hyenas looking at your ass like we outside. So come on out. Everybody want to be outside, right? So we also outside. Like, let's all go out and let's see who remains outside. All right? It says, but like it says, of a city there shall be 10 left. So imagine a place like New York City or like a place like Manhattan where it's so packed, damn near all the time. Times Square, and of all those different people there, you only have just a few left. Shit. It says, verse 29, As in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives, or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters for them that diligently seek through the vineyard. Because according to the law, if you own a vineyard or, crops and stuff, you weren't, when it came time to reap, you weren't supposed to take every single thing. You were supposed to leave a little bit for those that were poor, and widows, because life was hard. Life was hard for poor and widows. If you were a widow, if you had a man and he died, without, having established something, and he just left you, and maybe your parents are dead, or, whatever the case may be, you're on your own, because you would depend on your man. But if he was dead and you couldn't get remarried, or you weren't remarried, or whatever the case is, you were on your own. It was hard. Like the widow woman that came to Elisha, telling him that her husband was in debt, and now the collector wants her sons, to come and work, and then he told her to get the barrels and fill it with oil. See, life was hard, right? So the law says you were supposed to leave some so that when they came, they could find some and eat. They could still have something to eat if they stumbled across your field or whatever the case is. See? So that's why it says, left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. So it's going to be so little left that you got to diligently look. You got to really look. Oh, boom, I see one. That's how few people are going to be left here, that finding somebody is going to be rare. So now, in addition to that, you're going to have the men of the Lord, who the Lord is going to, protect. He's going to provide for. He's going to feed them. They're going to be good. So finding somebody in general is going to be rare, but how much more for finding a man of the Lord? That's why it says they're going to be more precious than fine gold. It says, 2 Ezra 16:31, even so in those days there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. So you're going to have people going about, because what is a sword? A weapon. And so you're going to have people searching houses, whether they be troops or whether they be people breaking into other people's houses. Like in 2 Ezra 15, it tells you that. Verse 32, and the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, like I was explaining earlier, because no man shall travel therethrough. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands, because a lot of their men are going to die. All right? Because when you have a woman and a man, and they're together, and they approach a certain group of people, oftentimes the people would kill the man and take the woman. That's why when you have an instance like Abraham, that's why he told the Egyptians that, no, Sarah, no, that's not my wife, that's my sister. And I believe Isaac did the same thing, because he knew if he said that, he said he feared that they would kill him and take her. See? So it says, so them not having husbands, they're going to be on their own, left to fend for themselves. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. And don't think you women are going to escape either, because your ass is also going to get taken up there. You want equality, right? Yeah, it's all fun and games till your ass gets drafted. It's all fun and games. You want to be a man so bad until it comes time to actually do what men do. Then you want your man to be the man, right? I'm a big, strong woman, manly woman. But when it comes time when danger is in your face, you got to man up. No. You the man. You got to do that. Oh, man. Yep, this is GMS Australia. 144, Zechariah 14 and 2. It says, for I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished. All right. Now go look up the ravish to see if that means you're having a pleasurable good time. It says, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. And that's going into that time of Jacob's trouble. See? So it's going to be bad out here, man. It's going to go back to the way it was in the past. But on a level of brutalities and fatalities that haven't been ever accounted for or seen before in history. So continuing in 2 Ezra 16 and 30, 35, hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. All right, and it's likening that sudden pains to this the judgments that are to come upon this place. Now, why don't they bring this out in the churches? See, you so focused on Hebrew coming against the Hebrew Israelites that you don't even listen to what we're actually teaching. You don't listen to the fact that we're warning you about the actual enemy. But they're so focused on us being the villains. Verse 39. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Every side. So no escape. Verse 40. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle, and in those days, or in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. So you got to be ready to be on the move. All right. You can't expect that you're going to be in your house. The Lord might tell you that you got to just be on the move, because they might be coming to your door to check if you've been finessed. And if not, they may be coming to haul your ass off. It says, verse 41, he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose. He that occupieth merchandise as he that hath no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth as if he should not reap, so also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry as they that should get no children, and they that marry not as widowers. So understanding that the things you are doing now are not going to be permanent. If it's not involving this truth, it's not going to be permanent. So don't put your spirit into it. Don't be wholehearted into it, because once it gets taken away, you're going to be destroyed. You're going to be distraught, But if you understand that it's temporary, you use the world as not abusing it. Verse 45, therefore they that labor in vain. So that's why we understand that, look, you get your daily bread, you do what you got to do, but here is not where we are going to live. Our continuing city is not here, So whatever labors you're doing in terms of the world and Babylon, you should do it, but understand in your mind that it's only temporary. Because once this thing hits, all the labors you've done that were not for this truth, that were for your life in this world, it's not going to matter. All right? It's going to be in vain. And the only things that are going to stay and remain are the labors you did for Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. All right? Yep. Yeah, because everything they come out with ties back to something else. Let's see. GMS Australia. To seize, to take away by violence, to overcome with emotion, ravished by scenic beauty. Oh, look at that. Rape. Would you look at that? So their wives ravished, right? It says other words from ravish, synonyms, examples, sentences, learn more about ravish. Yeah. So when you look up the word ravish, it doesn't mean I'm gonna come and try to spit game to you. Yo, ma, I'm really feeling you. Yo, my boy's really feeling you. So what's up? If we get I ain't feeling you. No, ain't none of that. All right, he ain't even gonna come and say hello. Just grab her ass up. So I mean that it's already happening. It's already starting. It's just gonna escalate more in that time. So the beast is on the move, and before all is said and done, all these prophecies are gonna be fulfilled. And everything I just read over there is one thing when you hear it and you imagine it, but it's a whole nother experience when you actually physically in that. So we pray and hope that Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua has mercy on us in these times to come. And that though, come as this beast might, the Lord said he's going to lift up a standard against them. All right, a standard on our behalf. So with that, I'm going to end here. Lord willing, that was edifying unto the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rachak Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.